which means that we come to you, and income is not a barrier for anything that we do. So we travel around the metro area. Usually once a year, we are here at Charlotte Street for our Theater Lab festival, which, let me tell you a little bit about, to put this all into context. So, we have a couple of programs. We're very writer-centric and new work-centric, so all of the work that we develop is by local writers. Here in Kansas City, we believe in nurturing our talent that we have here. We have our Theater Lab series. So that is a series of readings that we do to take the work to the next step. And so this, what you're watching right now, is a part of our Theater Lab series. James, who wrote, let's give James a round of applause. So, for example, James, who wrote The Whole World in Their Hands, submitted to this program. And then through our selection committee, he was selected because his work was in a place to take it to the next step. And in this case, it was a reading. We paired him with Kitty, who is our director. Then they worked as a team, and we found this wonderful cast and PA. And over the course of the week, they have been developing this play. And we're here to see what that work is and how it's come along. James is going to be listening and making notes and thinking ahead about what's next for this play. So that's our lab, right? Now, what's this festival? So our festival is a showcase of all these new plays in various stages. So our first step is our reading series. We are going to have a performance, which is more of a bare bones performance, which is working on its next step right after this. It's called The Eye of the Seer. And I'm just going to point her out. It's Elaine is going to create this. So if you want to stay, you can come see that. Make an afternoon of it. And then every evening we have a full production. So our full production for this festival is Four Girls. It's a new play by Darren Kennedy. It's really, really funny. We've been having great houses, and so if you want to come see it tonight, there are free options still available, but arrive early to make sure you get a seat. But Four Girls actually started in its development process with us in the fall of 2023. And so we truly are showcasing work on every level. So we're so glad you're here. We'd love to see you for the rest of the festival. I should stop talking because I'm not the reason you're here, but we're excited to have you. So let's get started. Thank you.
The Whole World in Their Hands, a play in 3 acts by James Teller. Characters: Rabbi Matthew Greenberg, Roy McAllan, Herman Goldcarroll, Esther Plotnick, Rivka, Eric Weinberger, Victor Brand, Nordic Knight number 1, and Nordic Knight number 2. Time, autumn of 2023. Act 1. The office of Rabbi Matthew Greenberg at Temple Beth Or in Patola, a Tuesday afternoon in October. At center is Greenberg's desk covered in books, papers, and a computer. Before the desks are 2 chairs. Against the back wall are shelves of books, and upstage center is a small table with a coffee maker and related paraphernalia. The door to the office is opposite from the desk. Greenberg, when discovered, his stocking feet are up on his desk, with his loafers on the floor and his jacket on the back of his chair. When discovered, he is reading and making notes on his reading when there is a knock at the closed door.
1 second, Mr. McAllan.
He slips on his shoes, pulls on his jacket, rises and crosses to the door, opening it to admit Roy McAllan. He glances around the room.
Come in, Mr. McAllan.
Thank you.
May I take your jacket?
Oh, sure.
McAllan removes the hoodie and hands it to Greenberg, who hangs it up. McAllan continues to look around the room. Greenberg watches him.
May I take your hat.
All right.
McAllan removes his cap to reveal that his head has recently been shaved. Greenberg notices. McAllan lowers his eyes. He crosses to Greenberg and hands him the cap, which Greenberg hangs up.
Won't you have a seat, Mr. McAllan?
Thank you.
McAllan quickly sits and continues to look around the room.
Would you like some coffee?
Sure. Thank you.
Greenberg crosses to the coffee maker and pours 2 cups.
I try to keep a pot ready for anyone who comes in, especially on a day like this.
Yeah.
Pretty brisk, isn't it?
Yeah. Real windy.
That's why they call it the state zephyr after the prairie winds. How do you take your coffee?
Black's fine.
Greenberg crosses to McAllan with the coffees, handing McAllan a cup and leaning on his desk as he stirs his own coffee. McAllan takes a sip.
It's a good coffee, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Never had coffee like this.
You've got to buy the whole beans and then grind them yourself. The grinder's just in the kitchen. Whenever we have dinners or large gatherings, I nearly wear the thing.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about coffee. We're talking about you.
Me. Right.
Your message said that you recently left prison.
Yeah, I'm on parole. I didn't, break out.
Didn't think you had. May I ask you how long you were in prison for?
6 years.
I see. May I ask, and if you're not comfortable discussing it, please say no. What was the charge?
Unlawful delivery, manufacture, distribution, or possession of a substance represented to be a controlled substance.
Drugs.
Meth.
I see.
I cooked meth. First I took it, then I cooked it, then I sold it. But, I only sold it so I could make more. I wasn't trying to get anybody else into it.
I'm not judging you, Mr. McAllan.
Thank you.
Are you from Patola originally, Mr. McAllan?
Oh, no, I'm from a little place called Pyrite up north. You know it?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, not much to it, not a lot to do, When I was a kid, I could run around, go into the woods, run around there, go up and down the road, but when I was in high school, my friends and I were just bored all the time. So we got into drinking and drugs, and that's how I got into meth. I learned how to cook it, got good at that, started selling.
I see.
Like I said, just to pay for the stuff to make more, but then my little brother got into it. I told him not to, but he didn't listen, and he wasn't careful. Him and his buddies caught their lab on fire, and then the sheriff got called. But I didn't want him to get in trouble. I didn't want my brother to get a record, so I told the sheriff that my brother's lab was my lab, and I told him about my actual lab. Between those, there was enough meth to get me on possession and intent to distribute, so I didn't even have to confess to selling, but I did.
What was your sentence?
It was a level 3 felony, so I got 12 years.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 18 when I got arrested. I turned 19 before my trial, so I was 19.
And how long did you serve?
6 years.
So you're 25.
Right.
And you're on parole, but here, not in Pyrite.
No, there's nothing there. I'm not going back.
What about your brother?
He just kept on doing meth. Found another place to cook it, I guess. Last time I saw him, he wasn't looking good.
When was it?
Right before they sent me to actual prison. My parents stopped talking to me after I got sentenced, and I didn't want to talk to my brother the way he was going. I guess I could ask my uncle. I'm staying with him now.
That's why you're in Patola.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about your family cutting you out.
Well, they're hypocrites, My parents can finish a 30-pack between them in a night and drive drunk to the liquor store, and that's okay. But I do meth and don't drive, and they can't talk to me again? Sorry.
You're fine. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you have a better relationship with your uncle.
Well, I know he won't put up with anything, so I'm trying to keep straight and narrow, you know?
Right, and is that what brings you here today?
Yeah, kind of.
Let's put it another way. What exactly can I do for you, Mr. McAllan? Or was it Roy?
Yeah, Roy. And what do I call you?
Oh, Rabbi, Reb Greenberg, Reb Matthew, Reb Matt, Rabbi, whichever works best for you.
Rabbi. I like that.
So, Roy, what can I do for you?
Well, it sort of goes back to when I was in prison.
Yes.
You noticed the haircut.
I did.
Yeah. Remember, I was 19. I was scared out of my mind. You know, I knew I was getting 12 years, but I thought there was no way I was going to make it that long. I was going to get beaten to death or stabbed.
You were scared.
Right. And my parents, they didn't say they were cutting me out. Just after my sentencing hearing, they never visited me again. Never answered the phone when I called. Nothing. I even wrote them. Never heard back.
Right.
So about a month into my sentence, this guy hits me up in the yard. A guy by the name of Victor Brand. You heard of him?
Not offhand.
He's a leader in the Nordic Knights. You heard of them?
Yes, I've heard of them.
And you know they don't like Jews.
No, they don't.
They don't like a lot of people. Blacks, Asians, Mexicans, Muslims.
Anyone who isn't like Christian.
They don't like Christians much either. They think they're too soft.
Sure doesn't help that Jesus was a Jew.
Oh, they said he wasn't. Said that was a Jewish lie.
Sure, they talked a lot about Jewish lies.
Yeah, but even more about international finance. Vic said that a lot.
Big.
Yeah, Vic Brand.
I mean, first name basis.
Well, right. He wasn't like talking about the Jews controlling the media right off the bat. He was asking about me. What's going on?
He was trying to be your friend.
I mean, I thought he was my friend.
Well, maybe he was. I wasn't there. I apologize. Go on.
But yeah, he invited me to their meetings, which we had to be careful about because, you know, in prison they're watching it. And if they think you're up to something.
But they didn't. They didn't break it.
No, not really. So I started going to their meetings, and like you said, they were talking all about Jews controlling the money, and the news, and Hollywood, and the government, and the military. And here's the thing. They showed us a list of names. Showed us, like, the heads of banks, movie studios, all that, and they told us they were all Jews. And I looked. They were.
So they were.
And I'm weirded out, you know? That there aren't any Jews in Pyrite.
Right.
As far as I know, you're the first Jew I've ever met.
I hope I've made a good impression.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just, it's weird. Because they said you guys were everywhere.
The coffee's from Uganda.
Oh,
There's a Jewish tribe there. The Abu Yudaya.
and they're black, right?
Yes, Mr. Roy.
So there are black Jews.
There are. And there used to be Chinese Jews.
So you are everywhere.
We're people. Anywhere there's people, there's a chance you'll find a Jew.
Yeah, good point.
I'm going to ask again, Roy. What is it exactly I can do for you?
Well, I want to be Jewish.
Greenberg takes a breath, pushes himself back from his desk, rises, and crosses to the coffee maker, not making eye contact with McAllan.
Could I get you some more coffee, Mr. McAllan?
Sure.
Over the following, McAllan, cup in hand, gets to his feet and crosses until he's standing behind Breeden.
So, like, I'm not sure how it works here, but I definitely want to become a Jew. If it helps, I'm not really into Jesus.
Greenberg, cup in hand, turns and starts upon seeing McAllan next to him, then fills McAllan's cup.
Thank you. Yeah, no, we didn't go to church that much when I was growing up. My parents weren't really religious. my grandma and grandpa were, but my parents didn't want them taking me and my brother to church, so that helps.
Doesn't hurt.
So, like, I don't know how quickly we can do that, but if we can do it today, like I said, I don't know how this works, but
It's not.
I see how does it work.
Why do you want to convert to Judaism, Roy?
Why wouldn't I?
I'm not a banker, or a media executive, or a filmmaker, or a power broker, or anything like that.
I don't know.
No member of the congregation is either. The most powerful members of the congregation are local business owners. One former city council member, the morning weatherman for the local news.
Oh, he's Jewish?
Yeah, he is Jewish, Roy. But Roy, nobody here is a part of international finance. Nobody here is controlling the media or pulling the strings in Washington or anything like that.
Do I look like I'm trying to do that?
So what are you trying to do? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lose my temper. But why do you want to convert to Judaism? What are you trying to find here?
Well, they talked a lot about all the hell you guys caught over the years. You know, getting kicked out of every country, laws against you, ghettos, you know, the Holocaust.
They didn't say the Holocaust was a lie.
Some of them did. Big things that happened though.
Strange. Okay, go on.
Well, you know these guys, the Nordic Knights, they like Hitler,
Of course.
but Hitler, actual Hitler, tried to wipe you guys out and did.
No. Several million of us still died.
Right, I know, but I just got to thinking as they were telling us all this, for centuries you guys were getting treated like absolute dirt, and yet you didn't give up. You didn't become Christian,
Some did.
but you didn't. You know, there's still Jews all over the world. You're still going strong.
Last I counted, if every Jew on earth lived in the States, the Catholics would still outnumber us 4-1.
But you're here, and you got a whole country.
And how is that working out? Did Big Brand tell you that?
But yeah, a bit, but I don't care about all that. I don't care about being a millionaire or a billionaire. I heard about all that you went through, and they kept telling me how you were still everywhere, and even after everything, well, you got to be doing something, right?
I hope we are.
Well, I want to do that too. I don't have anything. I don't have money. I don't have a job. I don't hardly have a family.
Did the Nordic Knights want to be a family?
I don't know. They're a bunch of angry white boys, and yeah, I'm a white boy too. I'm just not trying to be that angry.
There are angry Jews, Roy.
Well, I won't be.
But do you know what it takes to convert?
No.
It's a long process, Roy. You and I would have to study for months. You'd have to learn Hebrew and learn about the Torah, the history of the Jewish people, our customs, our culture, and only after that, only after I'm satisfied that you understand what it takes to be a Jew and you are committed to it, then we do the paperwork and make it official.
All right.
I'm not going to be teaching you economics or politics. I don't know economics.
That's all right.
And I would be teaching you a whole new language.
I took Spanish when I was younger. I even remember the Spanish alphabet.
Hebrew has a whole different alphabet. That's the thing.
All right.
But that's what I'm going to teach you, and that's all. No Masonic secrets or codes.
So you are going to teach me.
What I'm trying to say is that whatever the Nordic Knights told you about us is a lie.
I mean, those are Jews running those banks and movie studios, right?
Rich ones. Just like the Christians and Muslims who run banks and businesses are rich. We're just people, Roy.
Well, if you did have secrets, you wouldn't tell me till I was in.
The only secrets I know about belong to God. We don't get them in this life. We're just people. And if you convert, you'll just be people.
But I'll be one of you.
That's true.
I'll be a part of something.
Yes.
and something good, right? You like being Jewish, right?
I certainly chose a hell of a career if I did.
You sure did. Like someone doesn't like Jesus becoming a priest.
Yes, something like that.
See, they told me you were funny. Maybe I got what it takes, you know?
They tell you why we were funny?
Why? Is that like a setup?
We're funny, Roy. Because it was the best way to stay sane all those years.
Oh, right, I get that.
If you're going to convert, you're going to have to get that. And more.
I will. I promise.
You really set on this?
Rabbi, I got nothing. I don't have a job, I don't have a family, I don't even have a cell phone right now, right? Now, I don't need to run a bank or anything like that, but where I'm at right now, I need some friends. I need to be around people who've got their act together. And yeah, they told me a lot of bad things about you, and I don't know if any of that's true, but they showed me what you've gone through and what you got now. And that's better than anything I ever had. So, you know, it's your decision. You're the rabbi, and yeah, I'm a white boy with shaved head, but that'll grow back. I didn't get any tattoos, nothing like that. No swastikas, no SS, no 88s, just the head.
McAllan shrugs and sighs, then takes a drink of coffee.
You know what that coffee's called? The brand?
What?
Kaimon Kalt. Never cold. A lot of the people who worked the farm had been refugees, had survived the Holocaust, and had been at the mercy of the weather and of fate, and they named the coffee that because they were determined not to be cold anymore, not to feel cold anymore.
Yeah?
Yeah, just felt relevant.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. What's your schedule like?
I don't really have a schedule.
And you don't have a job, right?
Nope.
But you need one, yes? You're on parole. I assume they want you to get one.
Definitely.
All right. How would you like to work in a supermarket?
Sure.
Any time of the day you can't work?
I don't think so. I don't have a car, but...
They're one step at a time. What I need you to do is go to Goldcarroll's at 23rd and Gaddis, ask customer services to see Arthur Goldcarroll, and present my card when you do. They'll probably give me a call so I can vouch for you, and you'll need to actually apply for a job and make sure you ask to work evenings.
Why evenings?
Because it'll be easier to arrange a regular time slot for your studies with me.
You're doing it.
Yes, Roy, I'm doing it.
Woo!
Yeah, don't thank me yet, Roy. You've got a lot of work to do.
I don't care, man. This is great. This is the best things have been since I can remember.
I'm glad. Now, you'll need to ask for Friday nights off. That's so you can attend services.
Not Sunday?
No, that's not how we do it. But Arthur won't have an issue with that. I don't think he goes here.
Oh, I see. Using connections.
Yes, Roy. Using connections. Jewish conspiracy to get an ex-con a job at a supermarket. Love it. Get used to it. I can vouch for you, help you get the job, but keeping the job is your responsibility.
I know.
Friday night services here are at 7. Saturday morning, we have tourist study at Rivka's Deli. That's at Piedmont 19th. Think you can find them.
Yeah.
I'll remind you Friday. Might ask you to show up a little early on Saturday so you can try some real Jewish food.
I'm down.
I should hope so. I'll have to put together a curriculum for you and figure out when your studies will be, and I'll talk to you about that on Friday, all right?
Yeah. Do I gotta dress up for Friday?
No. A lot of people do, but you don't have to.
I'll try and get some new clothes.
All in good time, Roy.
A knock at the door.
1 second, please.
Rabbi?
Oh, Herman, come in.
Herman Goldcarroll enters, and upon seeing McAllan, pauses a half second to note his haircut.
Roy, this is Herman Goldcarroll. He is the temple treasurer and head of payroll for Goldcarroll Supermarket.
So you'll be writing my checks.
I will.
If Arthur hires him. This is Roy McAllan, by the way.
Sir, nice to meet you.
What brings you in, Mr. McAllan?
Oh, I was talking with Rabbi about becoming a Jew.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. Roy, I used to meet with Herman about the temple accounts, so we better wrap this up.
Right. I gotta get to the store. Where's my hoodie?
I'll get it. Herman, is it still windy out?
It's a good day to have a hat.
I agree.
Greenberg hands McAllan his hoodie and cap. McAllan rapidly dresses.
I'm gonna let this grow back in. Not trying to be bald in the winter.
Of course not.
Coffee, Herman?
No, thank you, Rabbi.
I think I got everything. Got your card. Thank you so much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
I'll get out of your way. See you at work, Herman.
McAllan exits, slamming the door as he goes, which makes Goldcarroll wince. Greenberg nods to Goldcarroll and crosses to his desk.
What do you have for me, Herman?
So, who was that?
I told you. His name is Roy McAllan.
Is that all?
Well, as he said, he's looking into converting, and he's on his way to 23rd and Gaddis store to apply for a job.
Was that his idea?
Well, I suggested.
And he took your suggestion.
And my card.
Why did you give him your card?
So we can present it to Arthur as proof I was vouching for him. I'd expect he'd call me later.
I don't like this, Rabbi.
What's the problem?
Look at him!
What about him?
Well, his,
Yes, Herman, his what?
his haircut.
Which he freely acknowledges.
His, I mean,
Herman, what are you trying to say?
You can't connect the dots, Rabbi.
I want you to be able to say it out loud.
Why? For what reason?
We worry more about what we can't define, what we don't define. Putting those vague fears into words makes them easier to deal with.
Oh, it makes us sound bad.
Maybe that's a sign, Herman.
When am I wrong for being suspicious?
Why are you suspicious, Herman? Look, Herman, if you've got concerns, you can tell me. That's what I'm here for.
You're here for my concerns, Rabbi.
You're a member of my congregation, of course I am.
But you're willing to bring a skinhead into the congregation.
Can you trust my judgment on this?
I don't have a choice. Just like I don't have a choice on your judgment not to have a panic button here in case Roy McAllan had a gun.
Herman, if he had a gun, it would have taken him a split second to shoot me, which is a lot quicker than it would have taken him for help to arrive.
Well, if he had a knife.
Herman, we're more likely to be attacked by our family and friends than by strangers on the street.
What, you think I'm going to pull a knife on you?
Well, I hope not. That would be very embarrassing for you.
Joking aside, Rabbi, am I wrong to be suspicious of such a man coming into this congregation? Am I wrong to think he might be trying to gain our trust so he can do harm to us?
I can't tell you what to think, Herman. Any more than I can read your mind or Roy's mind, but I know what he said, and I know what he did, and neither of those point to his meaning to harm us.
That's a lot of faith to put in a man you just met.
I'm a rabbi. Aren't I supposed to have faith?
You're also the leader of a congregation. You have to think about what's best for all of us.
Well, what is best? Turning away someone who came here entirely of his own accord because he shaved his head?
Is that all he did?
I have every right, Herman, to treat everything he told me as being said in confidence. Same as everything you say to me.
And why'd you send him to see Arthur about a job?
The man needs a job.
So badly you got to send him there with your card?
How long would you want to be out of a job, Herman?
Oh, I can't wait to see how his background check turns up. If he's that anxious, he must be on parole. Don't tell me he is.
I guess that's a matter of public record, so yes.
So he's a skinhead. And an ex-con.
I know for a fact, Herman, you've got ex-cons working for you.
Arthur's doing.
Arthur has faith in them.
And faith in you. I tried to get him on my side about hiring regular security here, but he trusts you. And if I can't get my own brother to vote with me, I sure as hell can't get the rest of the temple board to budge. Pardon my French.
The police keep an eye on the place.
But not even a guard on Friday nights?
We have one during the high holiday.
And now this Roy, God knows who he met in prison, who he might bring around to start a pogrom.
I'm not going down that path with you, Herman. I can't. It's not my nature. Yes, I want us to be safe here, but I want this to be a welcoming place for those who need it as well as the sanctuary for those already here. It's not a fortress to keep the rest of the world out.
But you know what the rest of the world thinks of us.
I don't know! Some hate us, some love us, some don't even know who we are! Some are out there, they might hate me because I cut them off on the freeway. Someone might hate you because their paycheck was too small. And if they hate us because we're Jewish, guards and panic buttons won't stop them. They'll just follow us home and shoot us in the driveway like Alan Bird, or snipe us through the kitchen window, or even come in.
A knock at the door.
Come in! Pardon my French.
Esther Plotnick enters. She has a large handbag slung over her shoulder.
Hello? Everything okay?
Fine.
Thought I heard her yelling.
Just a difference of opinion. Hello, Esther.
Hello, Rabbi. Herman.
Herman, you never did give those figures on the temple accounts.
Right.
Goldcarroll opens his briefcase and retrieves some papers, which he hands to Greenberg without turning his head. Plotnick sets her bag on the floor and takes a seat.
I just had a lovely little conversation with that new boy, Rabbi.
Oh, yes?
Yes. Said he was going to be coming to services Friday. Said he was going to be seeing Arthur about a job as well.
I'm aware.
He seems like the sweetest boy, doesn't he, Rabbi? Said he'd never even met a Jew until today, and you made him feel like he was already part of the family. And then I told him about Simchat Torah coming up and how the university's got homecoming right around the corner. And Angela was saying how her grandson in Zeta Alpha Pi wanted to do a Torah float for the parade. And Roy said he'd love to help with that. And I was telling him how I was like ride on that float, like I rode in the parade when I was a student. And I didn't say this, but I'm glad he's coming to Rivka's on Saturday because that boy needs a good meal in him.
As she talks, Greenberg leans on his desk, smiling and looking at Goldcarroll, sighs and shakes his head as the curtain falls. End of Act 1. Act 2. Rivka's Cafe, late morning the following Saturday. The decorations are modest and haven't been changed in many years. Perhaps posters for events long past or prints by Chagall, Shawn, and Schick. Stage right is the door with the sidewalk beyond visible. Stage left is the counter with the register and a case of pastries. In between are tables and chairs, and downstage center, 2 four-tops have been pushed together, at which Greenberg and McAllan are seated with a number of dishes before them. Greenberg is discovered spreading chopped liver on a piece of challah. There is a satchel by his feet.
You know the saying, what am I, chopped liver?
I don't think so.
This is chopped liver. Try it.
He passes the challah to McAllan, who sniffs it, hesitates, and takes a bite, cringing as he chews. Greenberg chuckles.
Not a fan.
Will it hurt your feelings if I say no?
No, Roy.
It tastes like a burger made with gravel.
That's how I felt the first time.
What, you like this stuff?
Now I do. When I was a kid and my folks had chopped liver and liver and onions on the table all the time, I thought, what is wrong with them? How can they like this? It tastes like dirt. Of course, it wasn't dirt I was tasting, but minerals. You know, liver's full of them, you know. Most of them I wouldn't touch, but about once a year I'd try it again and just to see if I like it.
And
Not for a long time.
so what happened?
It was always there. Especially the chopped liver, sitting there like a scoop of mud ice cream. And I kept on thinking it looks good, and my dad likes it, so I must be wrong. And for years, it's no dice. Then around the time I went off to college, I decided I'm a grown-up. Grown-ups eat liver. I'm gonna eat the liver. So whenever I was home and there was liver on the table, I choked it down. The liver and onions I got used to pretty quick, but the chopped liver was another matter.
You made yourself like it?
That's one way of looking at it, but over time it did start to taste good. And then I started to look forward to it. And then I went out of my way to eat it. And now,
He takes a bite of the challah.
I don't get it.
what don't you get?
What's the moral of the story?
I didn't know there was one.
Oh,
It's just what happened, Roy. It's a classic Jewish dish, and I came to like it. Not everyone does. Not even every Jew. Maybe that's where the phrase came
do I need to like it?
from. Of course not.
Or will liking it make me a better Jew?
No more than liking communion wafers would make you a better Catholic.
Are those any good?
I have no idea. But here's something. At Passover, we have the Seder, and you'll love that. And there's a section where we eat bitter herbs, maror. It just symbolizes the bitterness of bondage in Egypt. We usually use horseradish, which pretty strong stuff.
Yeah,
Some people barely get down a nibble. Some go back for more.
they like the bitterness?
Maybe. What do you think?
I don't know.
Fair, but it's not a test. There's not a right or wrong answer.
Well, I guess some people like horseradish. We've got it at the store.
Well, maybe we need a new bitter herb. Maybe broccoli.
Why broccoli?
I hate it. I hated it as a kid. I hate it now.
You could make yourself like it.
No, spinach, kale, those are fine, but broccoli isn't happening.
You ever tried pork?
Yes.
Oh my God, when?
In college, I went to a diner and I ordered a breakfast plate with bacon.
Did you like it?
Well, when you've got that much fat and salt together in one place, it's bound to taste all right.
I love bacon. Do I have to give it up?
No.
Really?
I mean, don't bring it to the temple. What you eat on your own time is your business.
Rivka, wearing an apron, possibly with the name of the cafe on it, enters from stage left and crosses to the table.
How's he doing, Rabbi?
Thumbs up on the matzo soup and the latkes. Soft thumbs up on the beef tongue, and jury's out on the chopped liver, I think.
You ever tried it before, huh?
No, man.
It's not for everyone. We make our own, you know. I put a lot of egg in it.
I like it that way.
I know. You like strudel?
I don't know if I've had it.
Oh, you'll love it. Let's have 2 cherry cheese. You know I was.
I know. You want more coffee?
Always and forever.
I'll be right back with that.
Rivka exits.
She's friendly.
Oh, Rivka's a sweetheart. You know, when I first moved to Patola and I didn't know anyone here, and told me to give this place a try, I started coming here 2-3 times a week, and she's really the first friend I made here.
You're the first friend I made here.
Glad to hear that, Roy.
Eric Weinberger enters through the front door.
Ready?
Hello, Eric. Come on over. Have you eaten yet?
Yeah, I ate at home.
Roy, this is Eric Weinberger. I think you met him last night. Eric, if you did meet him, this is Roy McAllan.
Morning. How are you?
Morning.
I was just mentioning how Rivka's one of the first people who really reached out to me after I moved to Patola. My first real friend here.
Oh, I love Rivka. I've known her since I was a kid because I grew up all the way in the suburbs near Thomlo, and I was pretty much the only Jew there. So coming here once or twice a week was the only time I really got to see other Jews. And I was in the Temple Youth Group, and I was still in grade school, and she was in high school, basically a grown-up to me.
And now high schoolers are just kids to us.
Right. But she was really nice to me. And when she opened this place up, my dad and I tried to make it here once or twice a week. It's been 15, 16 years. I'm glad she's still open.
So am I.
I didn't graduate high school.
What was that?
Well, Rabbi, you know I was in prison. Eric, I was in prison.
Right.
When I first got arrested, it was in March, and I was supposed to graduate in May, and I obviously didn't do that.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, you hadn't mentioned that.
I got my GED, though, right? That's something.
Of course.
Rivka enters with the strudel, which she sets before Greenberg and McAllan.
And I'll be right back with that coffee. Hey, kid.
Hey, Rivka.
You need anything? Coffee?
Oh, Just some water when you get a chance.
You got it, babe.
She exits.
Babe,
That's just waitress talk.
you say so.
I mean, I had a crush on her when I was younger.
Yeah, did you?
Just, one of those things when you're a kid.
If you're trying to play matchmaker, Roy, you've got a long way to go.
I just called it like I saw it.
Eat the strudel, Roy.
That is pretty good.
It's always been one of my favorites.
So, Roy, what'd you think of the services?
I got some catching up to do.
Right.
I got to learn Hebrew. I got to read the Bible, or the Torah. Sorry. I got to learn about the whole history of the Jews.
That's a lot.
And I'll say it again, Roy, we're not on a deadline. If it takes you a while, that's okay. What matters is your understanding.
No, I get you. Just a little scary.
How so?
Well, what if I forget things? I finally get a hold of Hebrew and I forget what's in the Torah, or I get a hold of the Torah and I forget how to read Hebrew.
You want to know my dirty secret? My Hebrew's terrible.
Really?
Really?
I got enough to go through my bar mitzvah. After that, started to lose it. Never lost all of it, but there is a reason that I'm not a rabbi.
Yes, you didn't want to be.
Goldcarroll and Plotnick appear on the sidewalk, and he opens the door, holding it for Plotnick and following her inside.
Good
He
job.
carries his briefcase, she carries her handbag.
Good job, Miss Rabbi.
Good Shabbos, Esther.
I hope it doesn't bother you that I went to prison.
Remember them that are in bonds as bound with them, and them which suffer adversity as being yourselves also in the body.
What's that?
The New Testament, Epistle to the Hebrews, still good advice.
During this, Greenberg has embraced Plotnick, shaken hands with Goldcarroll, and motioned them to the table. Goldcarroll takes out his cell phone and focuses upon it.
Hey, kiddo, how'd you like the service last night?
Oh, like I was saying, it was good. Just never been to one before. Didn't know what to expect.
You get used to it. So what's this on the table? Rabbi teaching you how to eat like a Jew?
Yes, ma'am. Chopped liver and a matzo ball soup.
You like chopped liver?
It's a work in progress.
Are you still playing on your phone?
Just a business matter, Esther.
The place still standing?
What's that?
I wasn't there last night. I was at services. I just wondered if everything's okay.
Yes. Everything's fine.
Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? If there are any stragglers, we'll catch them.
This is it?
This is the core group. Sometimes we'll get more.
There were just a lot more at services.
You ever try to get anyone to show up for anything, especially on a Saturday morning?
By now, Plotnick and Goldcarroll are seated. Greenberg passes the papers around.
So, Roy, this is the text of this week's Torah reading in Hebrew and English. And I listed a few topics for discussion, but feel free to bring up any points on your own.
All right.
And in our individual study, we'll dig into other materials, which will help make bringing up points on your own much easier.
Like what?
The Talmud.
What's the Talmud?
Rivka re-enters with a pot of coffee and a glass of water, which she sets before Weinberger.
I leave you alone for 2 minutes and you find 2 more people. Esther, Herman, do you need anything?
No, thank you.
Tea with lemon.
You got it, sweetie.
She exits.
So, what's the Talmud?
It's a lot.
If you think of the scriptures as the word of God, then the Talmud is the word of humankind.
Maybe leave it at that for now.
Why?
Because there's so much of it. You could spend your whole life reading it.
Not another life. I did.
There's a thing called Daf Yomi, where you learn the Talmud at the rate of 1 page a day.
Yeah.
It takes 7.5 years.
Holy crap!
I've done it twice.
How was it?
It's like today.
And even going page by page, depending on what edition you're reading, you can have just a little section in the middle of the page that's the original text, and all around it are commentaries, and commentaries on the commentaries, and so on and so on.
Are we gonna do that?
One step at a time, Roy. Did you see the huge set of books in my office? The ones with the red leather covers.
I think so.
That's the Talmud, in 73 volumes.
Jesus.
He's in there.
Really? I thought
He doesn't appear in our holy text because we don't consider him divine. But the Talmud was written about how we live our lives. And Christianity has been a factor in that for a long time.
Right.
Now, turning to the reading, the Noah, or Genesis chapter 9 if you prefer. We have 3 sections. Verses 1 to 10 are God's instructions to Noah and his sons. Verses 11 to 19 are God's covenant to the earth. And verses 20 to 29 are Noah's becoming drunk, exposing himself and being seen by Ham, and the curse Noah places upon Ham and his descendants.
During this, Victor Brand has entered on the sidewalk, looked inside at the study group, and entered the cafe, taking care not to be seen or heard by the others. Glancing at the group, and especially McAllan, while trying not to be noticed, he crosses to an empty table and sits.
Wait. Exposing himself.
Naked.
Like, he'd never seen his dad naked?
He was drunk, not in control of whether he was naked or not.
Right, but what's it say here?
Rivka enters with a cup of tea, which she sets by Plotnick, who nods and smiles. As McAllan leafs through the packet, Rivka crosses to Brand.
Didn't hear you come in, hon. What can I get you?
Small coffee and the egg bagel with cinnamon sugar cream cheese.
We're here to go.
Bagel for here, coffee to go.
You got it, sweetie.
She exits.
Yeah, I think this is it. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of
Canaan.
Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his youngest son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall be unto his brethren. I don't know, I don't get it.
You don't say.
Hush.
What don't you get?
Like, sorry if this is a bit gross, but my dad was a drunk. Is a drunk. I've seen him drunk naked.
Right.
Is that why he doesn't talk to me anymore?
Is it?
No, I don't think so.
You know, this passage is kind of problematic. That line, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren, that was used to justify slavery.
How?
The notion that the Canaanites were the ancestors of Africans.
Jesus.
You said that.
All over seeing a man naked. I don't get it.
There's an interesting point in Matthew Arnold's commentary.
A Gollier's sure soy.
Still capable of insight, Herman.
At least I think it was Arnold.
You know, while you're looking for your thing, Eric, what I like is in the Talmud, a reference to what Kista said here, that Noah should have known better than to plant a vineyard and make wine, because Adam's troubles were caused by wine, because he and Mir believed that the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden was a vine.
I heard it was an apple.
Most say apple.
Maybe it wasn't Arnold.
I like the theory. It was a pomegranate. An apple you can just pick off the tree and eat. A pomegranate you have to do a little work to enjoy.
There's more. Judah Nahasi says that it was wheat.
Wheat. Like they just ate wheat.
It was wheat, as a child is not able to call mother or father before it has experienced the taste of wheat. Take that as you will.
I don't buy it myself.
And Nehemiah says it was a fig because of the fig leaves Adam and Eve wore when they left Eden.
I still say pomegranates.
If God is in Armenian.
Did you find what you were looking for, Eric?
No, it was Matthew Henry,
Who was he?
a nonconformist. Here. He told his two brethren without, in the street, as the word is, in a scornful deriding manner, that his father might seem vile unto them. It is very wrong, 1, to make a jest of sin, Proverbs 14:9, and to be puffed up with that which we should rather mourn, 1 Corinthians 5:2. And 2, to publish the faults of any, especially of parents, whom it is our duty to honor.
And why did that point stick out to you?
Because it reads so much into Ham's actions. Nowhere in the actual scripture does it say Ham was scornful, deriding, or that he made jest of sin.
But the actual scripture does specify that Shem and Japheth averted their eyes when they covered him.
Maybe Noah was hungover when he made the curse.
No, that's as valid as anything.
But Noah spoke to God.
So did Moses. And he struck the rock twice and couldn't enter Israel because of it.
Rivka has entered and given Brand his bagel and coffee. They nod to each other, and she comes downstage listening to the debate.
Because he doubted God.
But doesn't God delight in loving kindness?
God has a sense of the dramatic.
How is that?
Well, if Moses had entered Israel, or Judah, I guess, he would have just died a little while later. He was already pretty old. But watching from, where was it?
Boundary book.
Right. And seeing all of Judah from there, and then dying without actually setting foot in the promised land, it's more dramatic, isn't it?
His eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated.
He was still 120.
That's not so far away.
As to Noah, Rivka, what do you think?
About which part?
Do you think Noah overreacted in cursing his son for seeing him in the altar together?
Well, here's what I always thought. Why didn't Ham just cover him up? Why'd he go outside to tell his brothers? It's not much trouble to throw a blanket on someone.
But to curse his son.
Well, maybe he was hungover. Y'all need anything? You doing okay?
I'm all right.
I'm fine.
You're always welcome to sit down and join us.
Mm-hmm. And you're always welcome to come help me with the dishes. I'll check on you again in a bit.
She exits.
So, what's the answer?
What do you mean?
Like, do we settle on something, or
What's the fun in that?
isn't this the word of God?
There may be one God and one word, but there are many, many people.
So, what do we do?
This. We debate. We discuss.
Until what?
Until the sun goes out.
What we're doing now is the whole point. Spending time with the Word. Exercising our minds. Trying to apply our learning, all our knowledge of life, to something that is, in itself, unchanging.
Does it ever get ugly? The arguments?
Now and then.
If there are ever hurt feelings, we apologize immediately. And we try not to hurt feelings.
Did you ever do debate, Roy?
Huh.
Well, you'll make up for it. Shall we move on to a different point?
What are you thinking?
Another passage that can be challenging, especially depending on the translation. Verses 4 to 6. Only flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of every man, even at the hand of every man's brother, will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God, God made man.
And to that you can bring in Deuteronomy 12 to 23. Only be steadfast in not eating the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou shalt not eat the life of the flesh.
The blood is the life.
Yes, blood is extremely unkosher.
I was just gonna say, it makes me think of vampires.
Vampires?
Yeah, well, what was it Dracula said? The blood is the life?
Well, that's in Dracula, but it's said by Renfield, not Dracula himself.
Oh, really?
Yes, I touched on that whole point in a presentation I did at USEN on vampirism and Judaism.
Oh, is that a thing?
Are you joking?
No.
There's a whole ugly thing from medieval Europe in which the Jews were accused of using blood, especially the blood of Christian babies, in their rituals.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know about that one.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You mean your buddies in prison didn't teach you about blood libel?
You mean your parents didn't teach you about manners? Shoot, I'm sorry.
Excuse me for a moment.
Holding his phone, he exits stage left. McAllan sinks in his seat.
No. Oh, God.
Hey, it's okay.
No, it's not. He's gonna get me fired.
He's going to try.
And can't you do that?
what he's gonna do is cry to Arthur, who actually calls the shots, and Arthur's gonna calm him down.
I recommended Arthur hire. He's gonna hold a lot more weight on that than you're talking back to her.
Yeah, which he had coming.
We try to keep this civil, but
Brand, coffee in hand, has risen from his seat and crossed to right behind McAllan. We get our first good look at Brand, who's dressed in slacks, a light blue polo shirt with yellow trim, and an earth tone jacket. He claps a hand on McAllan's shoulder.
Is that you, Roy? Sorry, didn't mean to startle.
can I help you, sir?
I'm just an old friend he hasn't seen in a minute.
Roy.
Yeah, this is,
Rich.
Rich?
Yeah, Rich. Richard. Sorry to break in, Rabbi. I just wondered if I could borrow him for a minute. I'm in a bit of a hurry, so I'll bring him right back.
He's an adult. He can do as he wishes, pleases.
Yeah, I'll be,
He'll be right back. Sorry to break in again.
No harm done.
I'll be right back.
McAllan rises, nods to the others who are watching Brand, and follows Brand out onto the sidewalk. They come down stage. Behind them, the others resume their discussion silently, frequently glancing toward McAllan and Brand.
You want to act a little more suspiciously?
You, Big?
You're looking right at me.
Didn't recognize you without the beard.
Yeah, well, once I got out, I figured a little change of appearance was in order.
Who's Richard?
That's my middle name. Didn't need them hearing my first. And don't look so nervous, they're watching us.
What are you doing here?
Where? Right now?
I mean, in Patola.
I'm from here. This is my city, dude.
Oh.
What are you doing here?
I'm on parole.
Oh, yeah? Didn't want to go back to, where was it?
All right.
That's it.
No,
Your parents still not talking to you, huh?
I haven't tried to talk to them.
I get you. Mine are still pretending to be liberals and acting like I'm dead.
Sorry.
Why?
I don't know. It sucks when your parents hate you.
Well, what if it's your parents who suck?
I guess. It sucks not to have a family.
I have a family. I thought you were part of it.
I'm not.
Well, that depends. What are you doing here? Here and now.
What do you mean?
I mean at Rivka's cafe on a Saturday morning hanging out with a bunch of Jews.
It's Bible study.
Bible study.
Torah study.
That's better. What are you doing at Torah study, Roy?
Just talking about Noah and
What's over there, Roy? What? You see something back there?
nothing.
Uh-huh. I know about Noah.
Yeah,
Got drunk, got naked, and cursed his own son for seeing him.
I guess.
Did I tell you about the curse of Ham and the Canaanites?
Maybe.
I'm sure I did. But I told you lots of things about the Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you have to say.
No.
No? So tell me, why are you here? Why are you spending your Saturday morning with them? You don't have an answer? Or you have an answer but you're ashamed of it?
No.
So, what is it?
I'm just.
What?
I'm seeing what they're about.
But I've told you what they're about.
Right.
I told you the truth, didn't I?
Some of it.
What's that? Some of it? What wasn't the truth, Roy?
I mean, the people in there, they aren't, international banking.
Oh, okay. You made that mistake.
What mistake?
You met some lower level Jews and you got to thinking I had it all wrong.
I mean,
I know what you mean.
Goldcarroll re-enters and returns to the table. He has shown McAllan and Brand speaking on the sidewalk. Brand sees Goldcarroll.
Your buddy's back.
Who?
The guy you talked to back there, which was nice.
I shouldn't have.
Of course you should have. He was a dick.
Right.
But just because the rest of them are nice to you doesn't mean they're good people, Roy.
But they are.
No, they aren't. If they were, they'd tell you you're not one of them and never will be. I hope you knew that.
I guess.
Oh, come on. Do you or don't you?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ, Roy. We're not called the Nordic Knights for nothing. We're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to know ourselves, know our minds. These Jews want to fill you with doubt and make you weak again. But they're nice to you now. They welcome you now. They're luring you in, Roy, and they'll destroy you if you let them.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Are you really letting them trick you like this, Roy?
No.
No. So you've got a plan. So there's something here you're not telling me.
What?
Are you trying to trick them?
I'm not trying to trick anyone.
Then you're tricking yourself.
Am I?
All right. Come on. Stand up straight. You need to get back in there in a second. They're going to think something's up.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, something is up, but you don't know what that is yet, do you?
Do you?
Well, maybe I better not say. Maybe I better not worry you. You seem pretty stressed as it is.
I do?
Yeah. Maybe a little song will make you feel better. You remember this one? They got the whole world in their hands. 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 They got the banks and the media in their hands. They got the movies and the networks in their hands. They got the press and the pundits in their hands. They got the whole world in their hands. You remember this? You used to sing along. Come on. They got the white man and the black man in their hands. They got the east and the west right in their hands. They got the house and the senate in their hands. They got the whole world in their hands. No. Not feeling it? Did all of that food give you a tummy ache?
Stop it.
I guess it did. They got Roy's tummy in their hands. They got Roy's spirit in their hands. They got Roy's testicles in their hands. They got Roy McAllan in their hands. I should visit the synagogue one of these days. See what's got you so worked up. I'll probably bring some friends. You know, it's funny. You were talking about the curse of the hand because that song, that was a slave spiritual. I made it my own. But that'd trigger the wrong people if they heard it. See you around, buddy.
Brand exits. McAllan composes himself and goes back inside.
Is everything all right?
Yeah,
Roy, if something's the matter,
it's not.
We're here.
I know.
Before we resume, Herman.
Yes. Roy?
Huh?
I apologize for my comments. They were out of line.
Oh. Right, I'm sorry too for mine.
Goldcarroll extends his hand. After a beat, McAllan takes it.
Good. Now, to return to the Noach. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more than the waters of the flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations.
McAllan stares into space as Greenberg reads and the curtain falls. End of Act 2. Act 3. The Sanctuary of Temple Beth Or, a Friday evening about a month later. At left is the bema, with the rabbi's lectern front and center. Behind it is the Torah Ark flanked by chairs. Starting center stage and extending to stage right are a row of pews. At rise, Greenberg, McAllan, Plotnick, Goldcarroll, Weinberger, Rivka, and others are discovered. Greenberg and McAllan and Weinberger stand by the bema talking, while Goldcarroll stands apart with his coat in hand. Plotnick, Rivka, and others sit in the pews. They gradually exit over the following.
The funny thing about Hanukkah, Roy, is that we've only made it a big deal because it tends to fall during the holidays. That is Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we've got our Jewish Christmas, complete with songs and games and gifts.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing, but something I didn't even realize until I'd grown up with Hanukkah, as you know, a canonical holiday, is that the books of the Maccabees aren't even in the Tanakh, but they are in the Christian Bible. So that makes it easier for them to accept.
They should accept Corum. The book of Esther is in the Bible.
Sure, I'm just saying it's funny that the Jewish holiday isn't even in our holy text. When I first figured that out as a teenager, I repeated it a lot. I thought I was very clever.
You are clever.
That's kind of you, Esther. Esther, it all comes together. But it was a simple fact that what I hadn't done was dig into why that was the case. So I might have been clever, but I wasn't yet wise.
Do you think you're wise now?
On a good day.
So, okay, the miracle of Hanukkah was that the lamp burned for 8 days, but there was only 1 day's worth of oil.
Right.
Now a light bulb can do that.
That's true.
What's the miracle of a light bulb?
That it was made. Miracles are relative. There's nothing miraculous for me to walk to the other side of the room, or for you to see me do it. But for someone who was disabled to walk, and for someone who was blind to see them, there's the miracle.
So you were clever, he was wise.
No fair, he had a head start.
I'm older than you, and I've been a practicing Jew longer, yes, but that's all. You have it in you to be wise.
I'm trying. It's a lot more reading than I expected.
I know, but I'll have you reading the Talmud in Hebrew by New Year's.
Or Rosh Hashanah at least.
When's that?
Usually in September or early October.
I got you.
I'm sorry. That was rude of me.
You're all right, dude. It's just I have to learn a whole new language, learn a whole new alphabet.
Alphabet.
Right. It's a lot, but it's what I got to do, right?
If you have the means. If you didn't, you could still be a good Jew. But you're fortunate enough to have the time and the resources to study.
And the right rabbi.
It gives me a lot to think about at work. When you're facing shelves of canned peas and corn, you really got to think about something else. So I think about what we're studying, about the alphabet. I run through that, and you pay me to think about this, Herman.
You're very welcome.
And speaking of work, I've got to get up early to make you people breakfast, even though you won't be there until 10.
I make my own breakfast.
I know. What gives?
She crosses to Greenberg and hugs him, then turns to go.
See you folks tomorrow.
See you, Rivka.
She exits stage right. Greenberg checks his watch.
Yeah, it's after 9:30, and we should probably head out so I can lock up.
All right, kick us out, why don't you?
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Rabbi.
Yes, Roy. 1 second, Herman. What's up?
I got my uncle to get in touch with my parents.
Yeah?
My brother, he's not doing good.
Sorry to hear that.
He's not in jail. It's not that bad yet. But he's worse than I ever got.
Sorry, Roy.
But I'm going to see if we can get him out of there and bring him here, see if we can help him.
I hope you can, but
I know. He's got to want it. But my parents aren't going to do anything for him. I don't know if he'll want to come here.
well, if you want to bring him and he wants to come, we're welcome.
Thank you.
McAllan turns to go. Greenberg turns to speak to Goldcarroll. Plotnick and Weinberger are talking when
Did we miss the service?
Brand enters from stage right, followed by 4 members of the Nordic Knights, all of whom wear the same blue polo shirt with yellow trim. Brand carries a golf club. The others put their hands in their pockets or conspicuously fold their arms.
Well, are we late or are we early?
God, no.
Good evening, Mr. Brand.
Mr. Brand. I seem to recall introducing myself as
Rich.
That's right. What's changed?
Rabbi, who is this?
Victor Brand, leader of the local chapter of the Nordic Knights. You may recall he spent 8 years
Sentenced. I served 63 months.
apologies for assaulting a police officer.
Oh, what'd you do that for?
I wasn't an
He was taking part in a Martin Luther King Day demonstration. It turned violent.
That was the work of bad actors. I am not violent.
No, you're not.
Those bad actors were members of the Knights that you testified against.
They are no longer members because of that.
We don't have room for people like that.
Then what are you all standing for? Rabbi, it's very rude to keep my friends standing. Make yourselves comfortable.
Rabbi, what is this?
I don't know, Herman.
I'm calling the police.
What for?
Criminal trespass.
Rabbi, did you ask us to leave?
He didn't.
Was there anything? A sign, a locked door to suggest we broke in?
There wasn't.
Herman, put your phone away.
What?
Put it away, Herman.
Are you crazy?
Are you? We came in an open door, made no threat.
You have a weapon.
I was practicing my putting.
That's a driver.
So, that was the problem.
What do you want, Mr. Brand?
I was checking on my friend, Roy.
God, Roy.
Here you go, sweetie.
Sweetie.
He had this same look on his face that time at Rivka's.
I did.
Like a scared child.
A child.
That's a man, not a child.
And he can stand on his own. Yes, I said you can stand on your own. You don't need these people treating you like a baby.
All right. There.
That a boy?
I said he's a man, not a boy.
Stow the semantics.
What do you want, Vic?
I want to see you happy.
No, you don't.
I don't. What do I want? Tell me.
You want me to think what you tell me to do what you tell me to do. It's what he's doing to you.
No, it's not.
They tell you we brainwashed you, but that's what they're trying to do.
If you joined us for Torah study, Mr. Brand, you'd see that we encourage thinking for ourselves.
Yeah? And if Roy was to say something about Israel, say, the kinds of things you say about America, would you encourage that?
I would ask.
I think you tell him he's wrong. I think you tell him why Israel is special, and the Jewish people are God's chosen people, and why the rules
So
don't...
you care about the Palestinians?
That's the problem for the Middle East. What I care about is one group putting themselves above the rest of humanity. There are so few of you, 2% of the country, 0.2% of the world, but everywhere we look, there you are.
Especially if you're looking in synagogues.
But you don't think it's fair, do you?
Whether or not I do, what would you have me do about it?
You know the answer.
Does he? Maybe I just want you to stop colonizing my people.
Are you talking about me?
Yes. And Mr.
I don't have to tell you who I am.
Herman Goldcarroll.
Esther!
They're already here.
Carol. The supermarkets.
Yes.
Controlling the supply of food to the people of Patola.
Shameful.
So go to our competitors.
My point, Mr. Goldcarroll, is that I think you agree with me.
What the hell are you talking about?
You don't want Roy in your synagogue any more than I want him here.
It makes you think
I remember how you and he got into it at the cafe. I know you think he doesn't belong.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Good for you. But what I think...
Do you care what I think?
What? What do you think?
I think you're a bully, Vic.
A bully.
I think you're mean.
Mean and a bully. What is this, kindergarten?
No, Vic. It's what you didn't learn in kindergarten. Jesus, the things you say about Jews, black people, Hispanic people, you don't say things like that about other people or they sit you in the corner.
This is the grown-up world, Roy, and we...
Oh, so we're grown up. Does that mean we forget how to get along? Does that mean we forget how to treat each other? Jesus, Vic. I didn't realize it then, but it was so much better when you got out on parole and I didn't have to deal with you.
What did I do to you?
It made me feel like an idiot. Never let me ask a question without trying to make me feel like I was a dumbass who didn't get it.
Well, you clearly didn't, or you wouldn't be here.
What's wrong with us?
I wanted to be here. And now that I am here, I'm happy, Vic. I know Herman doesn't like me. I get it. But Vic, Rabbi likes me. Esther likes me. Eric likes me. Rivka likes me. Most of the people here like me, and they like me more than you ever did.
Or they want you to think that.
You think I don't know when someone really cares about me? You think I don't know when somebody thinks I'm a dumb hick and a meth head?
You're not.
Rabbi says you're not. What do you care what I think?
Because you care what I think.
No, he doesn't.
Then why are you here? What do you want?
To harass us, to make us feel unsafe without actually committing an actual crime.
There you have it. Rabbi
You
says...
say it.
Yeah, say it.
Don't rush me. Roy, what I'd like you to understand is who belongs where. Namely, that you belong with us.
Is that it?
On my end? Yes.
You slippery little...
Name calling, ad hominem, right on schedule.
You'll never say what you really think, not to our faces. Not until you've got a gun in your hands.
We don't want it to come to that.
No, we don't.
Then don't let it.
Wait, Eric.
They think I don't belong here, Rabbi, even though I was born and raised in Fomalo, even though my...
Born and raised. But did you belong?
What do you mean?
In this country, in this part of the country, did you feel like you were part of it?
I was the only Jewish kid in my grade. I had to come here on weekends for services.
There, you were isolated. You were at odds.
But I was weird. I was shy. I was an only child. It wasn't just being Jewish.
Did they bully you for it?
Teased, not.
Teased, othered, denied what a child deserves, yes?
Yes.
To grow up among his kind, among his people, like his white Christian classmates.
They were my friends too.
But would you put your own child through that?
Would you teach your own child to put them through it?
What I teach them is to know what our values are, what we stand for.
Values or
You
pedigrees?
see us as animals.
No, but if we were up to animals, there would be no such thing as a purebred.
And no such thing as the world you and I live in.
A world where you and I have been fated to live side by side.
As it was fated in Palestine, Israel, and yes,
Were it up to me, there would be no war there. But it's not.
were it up to you, I'm sure everyone would get along perfectly well, and everyone would agree on everything, or agree to disagree.
But it's not.
What is up to you is whether or not you stay in this country. This country founded by white Christians.
On the graves of Native Americans.
And black slaves.
Yes, the same graves you built your synagogue on top of.
Yes, we share in the responsibility to remember.
Not so! You came in after the fact. You came in.
Did your people come over on the
The
Mayflower?
first synagogue in America was founded in...
I don't care when it was founded,
I was born here. My parents were born here.
but you don't have to stay
Guys,
Tell
here.
them the truth. Come on, Victor.
Will you tell your...
Come, will you stop?
There is a country for you.
Listen to
across
me.
the-
listen, Vic. You want us to leave, right?
I want you to leave.
Yeah, no.
I want you to understand.
You want us to go to Israel?
Or hell.
Is this what you want, Vic?
Sure, Roy. Sure, that's what I want.
You want an all-white America.
Why not, Roy? Tell me what I want.
I'll tell you if you somehow get that.
Rabbi. But Vic, we don't need to.
Is that a fact?
I don't think it is.
Because, yeah, there's the country Israel, but like everyone here is saying, they're Americans.
What about the Hasidic Jews living in their all-Jewish villages?
What about the Amish?
Guys, Vic, what was that thing you used to say? Blood and soil?
Yes.
You're not a farmer. You never set you never set foot on a farm in your life.
You're being literal, Roy.
No, it's okay. You don't have to be.
There's also blood shed for this country.
Yeah? But you weren't a soldier, Vic.
I was a defender of this land my ancestors built.
You're being literal, Roy.
You're trying your best. You're trying your best not to be an American. I think you're wide enough. You can at least stand with us.
I was wide enough for you, Christian enough for you, and I didn't farm, I didn't serve, I cooked meth in a trailer.
I wouldn't have put up with that.
No, but that's not the point. The point is...
What is, Roy? What's the point?
The point is that you...
No, Rabbi, I need to figure this out.
while we all wait.
To hell with that.
I spent all this time listening to you, Vic. Can you give me a minute?
I'm not here to hold your hand while you make up your mind.
So don't.
Roy, maybe
No, I said,
He doesn't listen to you either.
because I didn't train him to.
Then you won't have order. And when people who do,
I'd rather have friends than order. I'd rather have...
friends. That's it.
What's it?
Friends rather than order. You want us to want to be here, right?
Yes, I want to share my faith.
So we're Israel, right?
Of a kind, Roy, but
So that's it, Vic. It's not about where we're Jews, it's about how.
what in the hell are you talking about?
The real Israel is the friends we made along the way.
Brand grabs McAllan's shoulder and shakes it. McAllan's eyes widen.
Roy, you stupid son of a bitch.
McAllan screams and grabs a hold of Brand's golf club. Brand tries to retrieve it and they grapple. McAllan spins Brand around and pins him against the bema. Knight number 1 leaps up, pulling a switchblade from his pocket and rushes towards McAllan. Brand sees him and waves frantically.
Stop! Stop!
Roy, look out!
McAllan turns around. Brand slumps to the floor. McAllan swings the club at Knight number 1, who stops running but remains ready to strike. As they face each other, Brand gets to his feet. The other knights are also standing.
Put your knife away!
Why?
Stand down.
What the hell's wrong with you?
That's an order.
No, to hell with that.
I said stand down!
He attacked you, and you want me to stand down.
They want this! They want any reason to throw us in jail!
No, I don't.
Throw me in jail. I'll earn it.
Knight, put your weapon away.
Stay away from me.
Knight, this is an order! Stand down!
What are you scared of?
I said stand down!
You gonna listen to him?
You shut your mouth.
Put the knife down.
God's sake.
Knight, this is not the time to engage. Put the weapon down.
Knight number 1 hesitates, breathing heavily, looking from Brand to Knight number 2 to McAllan, who raises his hands and steps back. He folds the switchblade and starts to put it in his pocket.
Give it to me.
Knight number 1 starts at this, looking up at Brand and narrowing his eyes. He throws the switchblade on the floor and storms out the way they entered. Knight number 2 grabs the switchblade and hands it to Brand.
You and the others follow him. Keep him calm.
Yes, sir.
Knight number 2 motions to the other knights and they exit. Brand pockets the switchblade.
I think it's time you leave.
Perhaps. Roy could have my driver back.
No. It's your Hanukkah present to me.
Then he owes you 7 more.
I think we've got bigger problems to worry about.
How do you figure?
He might have calmed that young man down for now. Might have. But he's not going to forget this.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope you don't either.
No? What should I remember?
Me, Vic.
What about you?
You tried to make me hate these people, and you failed.
Was that what I wanted?
You wanted me to think they didn't belong, and that they want to hurt us.
You'll never be one of them, Roy.
He is one of us.
Say that in a year. In 5 years. Say that when you know him well enough to hate him.
Like I know you.
You hate me, Roy?
No. Just don't want anything to do with you.
Just hope you've always got that choice.
I do.
You need to leave.
I'm going. Notice that I'm leaving peacefully. I know people who wouldn't.
You should have brought that.
Be careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for. If you
Eric,
There's so much more I could teach you, Roy, about these people.
I don't want to hear it.
No, you don't. You want to shut your eyes. And
I'll teach myself.
just know, we've always been here.
so have we.
And we'll always be here.
So will we.
Brand, still keeping an eye on the congregants, exits. After a beat, they exhale, nod to one another, and stretch their limbs. Goldcarroll gets to his feet.
Thank God they're gone.
They didn't even touch you.
Esther, are you all right, bro?
I don't know, Rabbi.
Do you need an ambulance?
I just need to get my bearings.
Are you okay, Roy?
Yeah, I think so.
you had me scared, Roy.
How's that?
I thought you were gonna wail on him with that thing.
Who? Vic or the other guy?
Either, really.
No, I wish I hadn't even grabbed her.
Why did you?
Vic put his hands on me. I thought maybe that would be enough to claim self-defense.
Well, there were also extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, but his boy didn't care. He was ready to, I don't know. I don't know if he wanted to kill me or just cut me up so bad that I didn't need to give him a reason.
People like that find reasons.
Now we don't know what they're going to do next.
If they're gonna do anything.
You think they won't? You think we've stopped them?
You didn't see how they're about to fight each other?
Roy,
Yeah?
why do you think Vic told his foot soldier to stand down?
He's a coward.
Coward.
He wanted to scare us, but he didn't want us to give us a reason to call the cops on him. And he didn't want to give them a reason to send him back to jail.
And that's the act of a coward.
I mean, I'm glad.
So am I.
But if you're going to say the things he says, you got to be ready to back it up.
Like Hitler.
But he was a coward too, in the end.
Right. Didn't even go out fighting.
Really, he should have grabbed a gun and taken out as many Soviets
No.
as he could.
No, stop! We're not going to start joking. Not when we can this close to a pogrom on a and
Pogrom. It's a Russian word. It comes from the riots used to intimidate or wipe out the Jewish population in 19th century Russia.
They didn't intimidate us.
they didn't.
I mean,
He said he knew people who wouldn't have left peacefully.
He might have been blowing smoke.
You really think there aren't people who'd be glad to burn this place down and shoot us as we fled?
Herman,
Rabbi, it's history. Not just our history either. Black churches, mosques, gay bars, schools. There are people out there who would jump at the chance to wreak havoc and kill. And after tonight they blew it. And tomorrow they will come back with more people. Or guns. A bomb.
we don't know that.
We can be prepared.
We can. We'll keep in touch tonight. Make sure we all get home safely. Make sure no one's being followed. Roy, I'm going to take you home.
all right.
I'll let the members of our interfaith group know what happened. I'll send them a message before we leave.
And the police?
Unless something else happens, I'll speak to them in the morning.
That's a risk.
Tonight is for the people we know and trust. Tomorrow we can worry about the authorities.
The security protocols I have.
We'll take what our friends say and what the police say under advice.
You get us killed.
Herman.
Just
Only the killer would do that. What we have got to do is live. Live as ourselves, live as part of this community. Vic Brand and his followers be damned.
This is home.
It is. And tomorrow, unless you want to do it remotely, we're going to have Torah study at Rivka's.
I'll be there.
Me too.
You too, Roy?
Yeah, of course.
Herman?
I'll let you know.
Let me know. Well, we'd better.
Rabbi,
Yes.
I remember seeing something on TV. It was a Jewish song and a dance.
Did it go like da 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 da?
That's it.
Yeah, that's the Hava Nagila.
How's it go?
Let's see. Hava Nagila, Vanisamecha.
What's it mean?
Hava Nagila, let us rejoice and be happy. And there's more. There's a Hava Naranina, let us sing and be happy.
In the dance?
Oh, God.
Let's see. It's Hava Naranina.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rabbi, could you?
Havanna, let us sing and be happy.
Rabbi, Eric, join us. Come on.
Havanna, let us sing and be happy. Uru, Uru, Hachim, Urachim, let's a mea Kulahim, let's a mea. Quaker brothers must be happy, Quaker brothers must be happy. Kulahim, Kulahim, let's a mea. Hey!
Come on, Herman.
Hallelujah.